Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So, long time no see. I am 40 weeks on Monday, like full term, and I have been super tired. Uh super tired. And so I have actually filmed videos back to back to back. I just have not edited them yet. So bear with me, guys, just to be clear. But today, since I'm about 40 weeks, I wanted to give you the top 3 weirdest, funniest things that's happened to me throughout my pregnancy that just been interesting. And some of the things you're just like, who says that to someone? So yeah, let's get into it. We're gonna go down. So, number 3, lying about how far along I am. For some reason, people thought that I wasn't as far along as I said I was. So as I got closer to the 9-month mark, people say nice things like, oh, you're carrying it all in your belly, and you're probably going to be one of those people who just snaps back, which is good. Oh, okay, that's nice. Thank you. It's very kind. But then, or they'll say something like, you can't be this many months. Your belly's too small or whatever. But there was this one particular person who, this was 2 weeks ago or so, because I said, oh yeah, I'm due in 2 weeks. And I was ordering something. And she goes, well, congratulations to you and your baby. I mean, if you're actually due in 2 weeks. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? Well, you look about 6 months pregnant. So, I was like, yeah, well, I'm due in 2 weeks. So, and she goes, mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'll just take I just made my order and I was like, okay, this is awkward. This is really weird. But why would somebody lie about that? Like, that's a provable thing. If I come back here in 2 months and I don't have a baby or I'm still pregnant, then obviously I was lying. But I don't know. That was really weird. It was awkward because I was just like, wait, what? If I'm actually oh, okay, yeah, let's keep moving on. So that was an awkward moment, weird moment. Number 2, getting hit on by men. That was the weirdest thing for me. Now, yes, I took off my ring because I thought my hands were going to swell, and I didn't want it to get stuck. My hands didn't swell. My veins are popping out more, though, which is interesting. But I didn't expect to get hit on by men while pregnant. Not that pregnant women don't need love too. It's just I'm pregnant with someone else's child. You don't know the full situation, but you're still trying to talk to me, which I'm just like, okay, I knew like babies were like a attractive thing. Some women find that attractive on men because, oh, they're taking care of their responsibility, which they should, of course, anyway, just like women should take care of their responsibilities. But that's a thing where, from what I hear, that men with babies are attractive. I didn't think pregnant women was a thing that, yeah, I got hit on quite a bit, which was interesting to me. And I'm like, oh, I'm pregnant with someone else's child. It's not yours. So, but one in particular was funny because his line was, I was standing in line getting something to drink at the gas station. And he walks up to me and he goes, you know, you don't have to do this alone. I'm like, well, I know because, you know, my husband will be there with me. Uh, and he goes, well, you're not wearing a wedding ring. I was like, oh, yeah, you know, I took it off because I didn't want it to get stuck. So I already said I had a husband, and you used my pregnancy as a pickup line. And I was just like, that was funny. That was weird. That was different. And even when I said I had a husband, you're like, well, you're not wearing a ring. So, well, I already said I had a husband. A ring doesn't validate that I have a husband. Of course, you can ask about it, but I've already stated that nothing here is going to happen and that I'm not alone. So that was funny, using my pregnancy as a pickup line. That was hilarious. And number one, I made a whole video about this, about people assuming that I'm unmarried. It kind of goes with the second one, but the second one, the pickup line, was hilarious. People assuming I'm not married. So I don't know. I didn't know that you need to have your pediatrician before you leave the hospital after you give birth. Like, you need to have a name, all that stuff. So you go and interview pediatricians, which is very interesting. First time mom. So, okay, let's go interview pediatricians. And you set up appointments to do that. And that's not something you should wait to the end to do, like me, because these appointments can be, oh, we have one available 2 weeks down the road or 3 weeks or what have you. So we go see this one pediatrician and we walk in. My husband is with me. And the first thing she asks is, will your baby have the same last name as you? What last name will you be using? And I'm like, what? I know I don't have my ring on. My husband has his ring on, but she explains this whole thing about how, you know, when the baby has a different last name than the mom, they get confused and all that type of stuff. The hospital, or concerning, you know, us as the pediatrician, we don't know whose baby it is because she used a different last name. And I'm like, no, I'll be using my last name. We all have the same last name. My husband, me, and the baby will have the same last name. And that started the appointment off weird, because instead of assuming that this person is my spouse and I have the same last name as him, or hyphenated or something, instead you talked about how having a different last name than my baby, as my baby taking my name, or am I using a different last name, or it gives the appearance as if you think that we don't have the same last name. It would have been better if you just said, hey, so what last name will you be using for the baby? You know, oh, we'll be using this, you know, what have you. I don't know. It was an awkward moment. It was weird. And say the least, we didn't go with that pediatrician. And of course, the other stuff with people assuming I'm unmarried, that I'll link that video down below, and just some of the interesting, weird things that people say. I got that throughout my entire pregnancy, which is really weird. But I've had a really good pregnancy. Normally people are really nice, but you do get those people who say some of the darndest things, or did you just ask me that? You know, it's hard for us single mothers, you know, we gotta stick together. You know, or, you know, that's the whole assuming I'm unmarried or what have you. But it's it's been a ride, and I'm very appreciative that I haven't had a complicated pregnancy. I've been very low risk, and I've just been dealing with stuff that on the surface doesn't seem like a big deal. For me, it's just me feeling like, oh my gosh, I hate having lack of control over what's going on with my body, and sometimes emotions sometimes. And it's just like, why? What's going on? But this little one, you know, that's part of the process. But yes, I'm ready for her to show herself and for us to become parents, which is cool and amazing. And yeah, I think that my pregnancy experience is one that, of course, I will always remember, but I still look at my stomach when I pass the mirrors like, man, I still can't believe I'm pregnant. Oh my gosh. I think I'll probably do that with her too, where it's like, oh my gosh, I'm a mom. It's crazy. I'm a mother, you know? So yeah, that's where I am. I'm ready for her to come now. We're at full term. And so let's come on now. So yeah, I thought those were interesting things, just story time. And thank you guys so much for going through this process or this experience with me. And I'll continue to take you along the journey. Don't plan on sharing pictures or videos of her currently, but if we do, you will be some of the first to see her. So, yeah. So thanks, guys. I appreciate you got the niceties and the kind words and the kind comments. And probably my next pregnancy video will be after I give birth. Or unless I plan on doing that. I haven't shown you all the clothes that I've purchased so far for the baby. So, yeah. But I'm trying to do videos when I have the energy and I can be up for you guys and not down or tired, overly tired. So, yeah. I will see you guys next time. And thank you so much for watching and your support. Bye. Oh. All right, that's me at 40 weeks.